Princess Diana repeatedly ranted about the now King Charles being a nightmare to an increasingly horrified Queen Elizabeth, a royal author has claimed. The heartbroken royal would seek the support of her mother-in-law as the couple's marriage deteriorated and neared its collapse. Majesty magazine editor Ingrid Seward claimed Diana would visit the late Queen's rooms in between meetings to discuss the dire state of her relationship with the then Prince of Wales. Speaking to Fox News, Seward said, Diana used to go to her private room in between appointments that the Queen had, which were every 20 minutes, and burst into tears. She would say, "Everybody hates me, Mama, and I hate my husband. He's a nightmare." The Queen would just stand there, horrified, and Diana would be getting more and more hysterical. The Queen didn't know how to handle it, but she thought Charles should know how to handle it. That was a very low point in the relation. Seward claimed the late Queen would often wonder why her eldest son had been unable to save his marriage to Diana, but she suggested she wasn't used to dealing with moral conflict. She continued, "It had a huge impact. The Queen couldn't understand how her son, who was in his early 30s, couldn't handle a woman who was only in her early 20s. And she didn't understand because she didn't have the experience to understand something like that. Remember the cloistered world of the royal family, especially in those days. They didn't have to ever deal with moral conflict because there was always someone else to do it for them. If you didn't want to talk to someone, the switchboard at Buckingham Palace would just not put him through. So, you never had to take on things. And the Queen wasn't used to doing this." Diana was first introduced to then Prince Charles in 1977, when he briefly dated her elder sister Lady Sarah McCorquodale. The pair only began dating 3 years later, and Charles proposed after a whirlwind romance that culminated in a lavish wedding at St. Paul's Cathedral in July 1981. But it would only be a few years before the first cracks began to emerge, with Charles admitting he resumed a relationship with now Queen Camilla in 1986. Diana shared details of her marital issues with journalist Andrew Morton in 1992 for the book Diana: Her True Story, in which she discussed her struggle with her mental health. The pair announced their separation that year and officially divorced in 1996, a year before Diana tragically died in a car accident in Paris.